guys, so today I have a Shop My Stash video for you. It's been a while since I filmed one of these, and basically the purpose of these videos is to give some love to the products in my collection that maybe are a little bit older, maybe that I feel like I haven't used in a while. So I'm going to go through my whole collection and pick out a full face of products here on camera, and then in the second half of the video I'll do like a full face of those products. This top drawer is mainly just products that are in my project pan and also products that I use every day. Usually in my Shop My Stash videos I like to take a little bit of a break from my project pan items just because I use those all throughout the month. This time I am actually going to pull out two of my project pan items, the NYX Angel Veil Primer and the Wet n Wild liner in Voltage Blue, just because I've been neglecting these two this month and I really do want to get some use out of them in this video. So let's grab those. Also I'm going to grab my mascaras and my brow pomade and my eyeshadow primer because those are just things I use every day. May come back to this drawer later, but for now let's dive into the other drawers. So this is my base drawer. And let's see, what do I want to do for foundation? Debating between these two, the NYX Born to Glow and the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac. Part of me wants to grab the NYX Born to Glow, but that might not be the best idea because my skin has been very dry since I recently started tretinoin. So I think I actually am going to use the Urban Decay Hydromaniac just because I think this is probably going to work better on my skin than the NYX one right now. Then for concealer, I will grab my NYX Born to Glow concealer. I really enjoy this one. Just haven't been using really any of these concealers very much just because I've been trying to pan my Too Faced one, but I do want to give this one some love. And since that concealer is a little bit lower coverage, I actually am going to try using this Becca under eye corrector underneath it just to see how they work together because I haven't used this a ton. So I already have that NYX Angel Veil Primer. For setting spray, I'm going to do my e.l.f. Dewy setting spray. I love this one. It really just kind of perfects the finish of my makeup. Next, I have kind of my cheek drawer, and then I also have face powders in here. For setting powder, I probably will only set my under eyes. I'm going to grab this Pacifica Crystal Rays setting powder, just because it is a loose setting powder, and that's kind of what I'm in the mood for right now. For blush, I kind of want to go the cream route. I think I'm going to grab this one from Annabelle. This is their Perfect Cream Blush in Subtle Coral. It's perfect for this time of year. I also want to give this a whirl. This is the Soul Body Bronzing Balm in the shade Fair. My friend Alex decluttered this to me along with some other things, and I've only tried it a handful of times just because I'm also panning it's an eyeshadow, but I'm using it as a bronzer, so I haven't been giving this as much attention, but it's so big. But yeah, let's try that out. For highlighter, let's see. I think lately I've really been enjoying this Becca liquid highlighter in Champagne Pop. I feel like we're going kind of a warm bronzy route, so I think this will look really pretty. And that, I think, will be it for this drawer. Actually, in case I want to contour, I'm going to grab my Uoma contour and highlight stick in White Pearl. This drawer doesn't have a whole lot in it. I am going to grab my Jordana brow gel in the shade Blonde, because I did just actually toss my e.l.f. Wow Brow into the empty bin since that one was pretty much done. So I'm going to grab this one. I haven't used it in a little while. I think that's all I want from this drawer right now. This is like kind of my eye drawer. This is my lip drawer. I'll come back to this because I want to pick out some eyeshadow first. So here's my palette drawer. I just went ahead and pulled the whole thing out. I really want to focus on some singles today, especially some of these Klarity singles that I feel like I just haven't used them as much as I want to. I specifically am kind of dreaming of a lime green shadow look today, so I think I'm going to use mainly this shade, which is Capri Sun from Klarity. May use some of these others as well. Also gonna grab, I have a few other singles in this little trio here from Klarity, so I'll grab that as well, just in case. I think I'm also going to take out my e.l.f. Earth and Ocean palette just because this does have some green and like green adjacent shades in it that I think might work well in the look I'm envisioning. So I think that'll be my eyeshadow to work with. And finally, we find ourselves in the lip drawer. And let's see, what do you pair with a lime green eyeshadow look? It's tricky. So my first inclination is to go for a peach. I've been reaching for this a lot lately, this Burt's Bees lip crayon in Santorini Sunrise, like a nude peach. I feel like that could be good. All right, I'm gonna grab the Burt's Bees lip crayon along with this Mented Peach lip pencil as one option. Maybe just this nude gloss from Cloven Hallow in Angelic could work. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking I'll probably go the nude route, and it'll either be like a peachy nude or a cooler nude. I'll grab this e.l.f. Seriously Satin lipstick in cream too, just because it's a good like go-to neutral nude. So we've got options for the lips. Maybe I will go kind of a blue and green route. I'm gonna grab this Urban Decay eyeliner in Roxy, just because I've never used this, and maybe I'll use it, who knows. All right, so that is my basket of products to work from. Let's go ahead and head on over to the makeup station. Starting out with this NYX Angel Veil primer. This is in my project pan. I feel like I have not been using it a ton, mainly because I've been filming a bunch of sunscreen demos for my upcoming sunscreen video. Actually, videos, I'm going to be splitting it into 2 parts. And for the demos, I show what it looks like with makeup on top, with just foundation and concealer, but I don't want the primer to like interfere. So for those demos, I just haven't been applying primer, and so a lot of days I've been skipping primer because of that. Just about filmed all the demos. I think I have one more. And I have decided to split that sunscreen video into 2 parts. So part 1 will be mineral sunscreens and part 2 will be chemical sunscreens, because this year I just ended up with a lot more sunscreens than I anticipated. So I think I have 12 or 13 mineral sunscreens and then 6 chemical sunscreens. Actually, one of those is a combination chemical and mineral sunscreen, but I'm just gonna put that with the chemical ones. So anyway, that's a little update on that situation, but I think the mineral one will be coming first. And now I'm just gonna apply this Urban Decay Hydromaniac foundation. All right, I'm testing out this new ecotools bioblender. It is apparently biodegradable, and they say that you can put it into like your household compost. So far, I really like it. It's super soft, but it's got this really nice like bouncy texture to it. I think I like it even better than the green ecotools sponge that I've loved for a long time. Still don't know if I like it quite as much as the Beauty Blender. I do love a good original Beauty Blender. Mainly, like, I don't know, I think I do like the teardrop shape a little bit more than this sort of like flat angular shape, but I do like this shape too for, you know, under eye concealer. So there's that Hydromaniac foundation, just one kind of thin layer of it. It always just looks so beautiful on my skin. Like, it almost has this smoothing, blurring quality to it. Even though my skin has not been in the best shape since starting tretinoin, I've had a little bit of peeling, I feel like this looks really good. So glad I went with that one. Filming with natural lighting, which always means that the lighting does change throughout the video, but I'm gonna go in with some of this Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector now. So I do have some very exciting news to share in this video. So if you haven't been following me on Instagram, I haven't mentioned this on my channel yet, but I did recently adopt a new kitten. She was a foster fail, so we were fostering her and her 3 brothers. And I just completely fell in love with her and decided to keep her. She is a little calico, and she's about 9.5 weeks old now. She was born, I think they estimated that her birthday was February 17th, so she's very little. I will bring her on camera at the end of this video. All right, gonna apply some of this NYX Born to Glow concealer now. All of them had fruit names, so she was kiwi, and then her brothers were pear, apple, and grape. Such silly names. But we ended up, I liked the name Kiwi, but I just didn't feel like she looked like a kiwi, and I really prefer like human names for cats. I don't know why, but I just do. So we ended up naming her Bee, which is short for Beatrice, but we mainly call her Bee. And we decided to spell it B-E-E. She kind of looks like a little bee, and she's always buzzing, purring, and just running around, zipping around. So we felt like Bee was just such an adorable name for her. I know like the nickname for Beatrice is usually spelled B-E-A, but I don't know, we just like the B-E-E spelling. I love her so much. She is so playful and so cuddly. She will just lay on your lap for hours, purring, and she's in here right now on the little cat tree that we have in here. She has been introduced to Heidi and Tala, which are our other 2 adult cats, and she's doing great with them. She loves them. She's obsessed with them. Every time, you know, anytime they're doing anything, she has to know about it. They're warming up to her pretty well. Heidi has already actually groomed her. Heidi loves grooming other cats. Like, if they let her, she will like pin them down and like give them a whole bath. And she did that with Bee like the day after she met her. And I was just shocked. I caught that on my Instagram. So Heidi's doing great. And then Tala is tolerating her. She's not completely sold on her yet, but she's getting there. And so, yeah, I mean, Heidi and Tala are very kind of laid back cats as it is, so they're really good sports about it. We do plan to continue fostering once she's kind of settled in. She's not technically ours yet because the shelter that I'm fostering with and that she came from, they don't technically let you adopt a pet before they've been spayed or neutered. And so she will be spayed at the beginning of May. I think May 12th is her spay date. And so until then, she's technically theirs, and we're still like fostering to adopt right now. But I mean, we've already signed all the paperwork and everything, so it is official. So once that is done, we will be allowed to foster again. So there's that concealer and corrector combo. I don't really feel like it looks any different than if I had just used the concealer. Like, this concealer is kind of a medium coverage. And I do feel like the corrector on its own does look very brightening, so I think this will be useful for maybe like no makeup days where I just want a little bit of kind of brightening under the eyes, because it's a pretty good match for my skin tone. I mean, obviously it's like very pinky, but I just feel like underneath concealer it doesn't really add a whole lot. So I did apply contour, and I'm going to try out this Soul Body Bronzing Balm. This is such a huge container. And it's technically for face and body. I really prefer it just for the face. I don't really do body makeup, but I do really like the texture of it. I feel like it's a nice, very creamy texture, and it does blend really well. It also smells really good. It smells very like beachy. Alright, next for this Annabelle stick blush, I have the shade Subtle Coral here, and I actually am just going to kind of dab this directly on. A little bit on the nose. Such a beautiful, bright color, and it ends up just looking so fresh on my cheeks. And I love how creamy it is, and I love that I can just draw it directly onto my cheeks from the stick and blend from there. I feel like otherwise, what's the point of having a cream product in stick form if you're gonna have to like go on with your brush anyway? But this one is creamy enough that you can just blend it right out. Then next for this Becca highlighter in Champagne Pop. I've really grown to like this highlighter lately. It's very, it's a little bit subtle, but I mean, it does show up. But lately I've been more into just kind of highlighter that doesn't look like highlighter. And I still like a very blinding highlighter from time to time too, but just been into the more like subtle lit from within kind of look. It's pretty. I do feel like anytime I apply my concealer and then I go in with cream products on my cheeks, some of that concealer ends up like disappearing if I haven't set it yet, which I don't like to set it until after I've applied my cream cheek products, so I'm just going to dab a little bit more of that on there. So next for this Pacifica Crystal Rays setting powder. It's a nice, very finely milled loose powder. I'm mainly just going to use this on my under eyes. Really haven't been setting the rest of my face lately. I really do love using a loose powder on my under eyes. Lately I've been using a pressed one, but I do just prefer like the feel of a loose powder. I feel like it's so perfecting and just easy to sweep on there. So I'm just going to prime my lids real quick and do my brows, and then we will get into the eyeshadow. Alright, brows are done. I am going to throw on some of this Jordana brow gel. This is the shade Blonde. I really like this brow gel. Would totally recommend it if you could still buy it. It doesn't have any fibers to it like the e.l.f. one, but I don't really mind that. I don't really feel like I need that. Alright, so now for this eyeshadow, like I said, I do want to kind of at least mainly feature the shade Capri Sun from Klarity, which is that lime green. It's got like a goldeny shimmer to it. I think I'm going to start out with just a light dusting of one of these brown mattes from e.l.f. Earth and Ocean. I'm going to go in with Mojave Mommy here. It's like a matte neutral brown, just to kind of lay the groundwork for this very lightly. Definitely don't want this look to pull too brown. Like, I really do want it to be very light and springy. Alright, so I'm going to start applying this green kind of to the center and outer half of my lid. And then I'm thinking I might, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing yet, but we'll see. We'll see. Next, I want to dip into this shade, which is called Smoking Mirrors, which is like kind of like a silver gold duochrome. And this is one of their kind of chunkier shimmers, so I'm just going to tap my finger in there. I'm going to apply this to the inner part of my lid and sort of overlap it with the green. Just dust away that fallout. Not too bad. I'm going to apply some of this shade Sun Yourself from Earth and Ocean. That's this really pale yellowy gold to my inner corner. Lately, if you can't tell, I've been really into just applying shimmers with my fingers. I just feel like it's easier. I get a little bit more payoff that way. I'm just gonna do a little blending, not adding anything onto this brush. Does this look need blue? I think I am going to tightline my upper lash line with the Urban Decay Slide On Glide On 24/7 eye pencil in Roxy. Before I do the rest of my eyeliner and mascara, I am going to do some setting spray, just this e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. I always like to actually cover my hair so that it doesn't make it look greasy. Such a refreshing setting spray. I think for the lower lash line, I want to do some of this shade, which is called Coastline from Klarity. It's this really pretty, like, beachy blue matte, and I just want to kind of smudge that along the outer part of my lower lash line. I do want to do a little wing with this Wet n Wild Mega Liner in Voltage Blue. This is in my project pan right now, because I really haven't been using this as much as I would like to this month. I just want to do like a little subtle wing here. I think I want to add a little bit of a deeper blue to like the outer part of the lower lash line. So I'm going to apply some of this Drip Drip shade from Earth and Ocean just to kind of connect it a little bit more to that top wing. Alright, I'm going to dab just a little bit more of that green because I feel like it got a little bit lost. Alright, added a little bit more of that Smoking Mirror shade again too. Alright, hoping that, as usual, mascara will kind of bring this all together. So this is just the mascara that I've been working through right now. It's the ABH Lash Brag. And then for the bottom lashes, I'm using Undone Indielash because the ABH one does kind of smudge. Okay, so now for the lips. I'm not really sure whether I want to go warm or more neutral. I'm going to try this Burt's Bees Santorini Sunrise crayon on just to see how that looks. I think that's a little bit too peachy. I'm actually going to try just this gloss by itself. I think that was a good choice, just like a very neutral pinky nude. So that is pretty much the finished look. It's funny, I don't really like the color lime green in general, but I do think that it can be really pretty in eyeshadow. And I do like the way this turned out. So that was a good way to get some more use out of some of these Klarity singles. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little Shop My Stash video, and if you want to see some of B, I will cut to that footage now. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Bye!